情報の海から生まれた新しい知生体、そして世界の終わりを止めるもの。
Bro, Soul Hackers 2? I had the first game on 3DS. I should probably get around to beating that. Ah, nostalgia. I can't wait to revisit this game again. Oh hey, it looks like I missed a notification. Makes sense, it's been a while since I opened up the 3DS again. Let's see what this notification is.
No! No! No!
Hey, what's the word, players? Welcome to another episode. If it's your first time here, how's it going? I'm Wordplay. I'm a Christian that loves to play JRPGs, fighting games, and platformers. I'm also a pretty big Nintendo fan, though lately the big N's been making it really hard to be a fan of theirs nowadays. If you've seen the intro, of course you know what I'm talking about. Nintendo has announced that they're going to be closing the 3DS and Wii U eShop on March 2023, which really sucks because that means that there's going to be a lot of games that are going to be really hard to find, with many other games that are going to be just straight up gone if they're exclusive to the eShops. Now, I don't have my Wii U anymore. I do still carry around my 3DS, and it really pains me to see that the shop going away so soon. So what I want to do in this video is I want to go through my 3DS and go over a list of games that I can strongly recommend that you buy before the eShop closes. We're mainly going to be looking at games that are digital only because once the eShop goes, so do those games. But we're also going to take a look at games that do have physical releases but might be cheaper just to get them before the eShop closes. So all that said, let's go. The first game that I want to talk about is Etrian Odyssey IV. Well, I guess while we're at, how about just the whole Adrian Odyssey series on the 3DS? Now, I don't have my copy of 4 on me. I believe my cartridge is still at my parents' house, but believe me, this is an excellent series, highly recommended. Adrian Odyssey is a dungeon crawler series, and typically what you're able to do is select the class to create your party, and a really unique feature of the Adrian Odyssey series is, being on the 3DS, you can use the touchscreen on the bottom as a map feature. Highly recommend Etrian Odyssey IV and really any of the games you can get on the 3DS. They do have physical copies as well, but the prices are getting way up there, especially for finding a North American release. So definitely a cheaper option is to get them on the eShop while you still can. Next up is Liberation Maiden.
We'll fight for our people.
An eShop exclusive title that was actually part of a compilation called The Guild before becoming its own separate title. Developed by Grasshopper Manufacture, best known for Killer 7 and No More Heroes, and published by Level 5. Liberation Maiden is a mech shooter, where you play as Shoko, the president's daughter, as you destroy these structures called spikes in order to return energy back to the planet. It is in a way kind of an environmental story, well, as much as an environmental story as Sonic in Final Fantasy VII. The game makes great use of the touchscreen as your aiming reticle, and it's a very short game, but it's very satisfying. Sneaking into our list next is Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure. There's two things that Sega does really well. One is create great music, and two is to make great rhythm games. We got Samba de Amigo, Space Channel 5, and now we can add in Rhythm Heaven. You play as Raphael, who is out to solve a mystery by donning the alter ego, Phantom R. I guess you could say he was a Phantom Thief before the Phantom Thieves were a thing. I think that'd make for an interesting crossover. We already have a Persona dancing game, so that wouldn't be too far off the mark. Besides being a rhythm game, Phantom Thief is also kind of a puzzle game as well. So if you're a fan of franchises such as Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, or the Professor Layton series, I think you'll get a real kick out of Phantom Thief and the Phantom's Treasure.
Hey bro, come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
While the 3DS had its own virtual console, there was a small line of retro games that were retrofitted with 3D. Now, Nintendo did this with titles such as Kid Icarus and Kirby's Adventure, and Sega also got in on the action as well, with, of course, Sonic 1, because they have to port Sonic 1 to everything, but they also decided to re-release Super Hang-On as a 3D classic. Hey, how's it going? Just a quick reminder that if you're enjoying the video so far, you know what to do. Okay, back to what we were doing. There's a reason that I chose to highlight Super Hang-On. One, well, because I really love Super Hang-On, but two, it has a really unique way of playing it by utilizing a feature that the 3DS has that not a lot of games use, that being the gyro sensor. That's right, in a way you can sort of play Super Hang-On as intended without having the big cabinet in your living room. You can choose to play it in a way that feels just a little bit more immersive than using the circle pad. As you can see, as I tilt the 3DS, I'm also turning, which definitely would have been something more along the lines of how the original cabinet was. So with that experience, this is something that would be sorely missed because you can't really experience this on any other console. Alright, next up we got Crimson Shroud. Another game that was actually part of that Guild compilation that Liberation Maiden came from. This one's pretty unique. It's a JRPG that's styled as a tabletop RPG, complete with dice rolls, and even the character models are fashioned as figures. Honestly, this is a game that you should definitely check out just because of how unique it is. It is an eShop exclusive title, and at the time of this recording, they haven't announced any ports or re-releases for this game, so definitely don't miss out on this. Alright, with the release of Shin Megami Tensei V on the Switch and the announcement of Soul Hackers 2 coming out, what better way to check out the predecessors than find them on the Switch?
Come on, man!
Shin Megami Tensei IV, my first foray into the series outside of Persona, and boy, this is a game that will kick your butt. Although, if you're a veteran of the series, you already know this. And while you're at it, also pick up Soul Hackers. It's a re-release of a Sega Saturn game that never got released outside Japan, so it was a really big deal for this game to finally get localized here in the West. So hey, if the trailer for Soul Hackers 2 looked interesting to you, definitely check out the original game. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if there's any games from this list that you're interested in checking out. If you're looking for a church to be a part of, I'm part of a non-denominational church. Down in the description below will be a link to our church locator so you can find one of our churches near you. If studying the Bible is something that sounds interesting to you, let me know. We can set up something through Discord. I do also stream here on YouTube and on Twitch Wednesdays, every other Friday, and Saturday, so come and watch me live. I'd love to have you. As always, if you'd like to see me talk more about JRPGs, fighting games, and platformers, as well as things Nintendo related, click right here to see more, and watch other videos. Until next time, peace!